Excellency, if I may, before Rotus asked that question, leading to Seyi Makinde's question, chat, my colleague here, right in the middle, I call him BKO. I'm trying to remember his first name. Jide had raised the issue of the leadership, and you had said that if the leadership of the party doesn't listen, etc., you had also spoken to something leading up to a convention. That you had told them, or there had been suggestions that whatever grounds they had against the the national secretary of the party, should be held up until they entered the convention. So it seemed like all was geared towards this convention, only for us to hear much later that no, there were suggestions that the convention be stepped down. Even you yourself had mentioned that Mr. Samayan was going to be secretary of the party up until the convention. What made people change their minds about this convention? At what point did the party begin to say, no, we're not going to go ahead to a convention, we're going to, organize a caretaker committee?
Because there are disagreements. People have gone to court to say, look, you can't go ahead with this convention. Why would you not go ahead with convention? So many states have not had their congresses. How will you deny states of participating in the national convention? You have 36 states. About 16 states have not had any congresses. And therefore, they are not eligible to vote in that convention. 16 states. And people went to court and said, no, you cannot do this. Let's follow due process. Take, for example, you want to do zoning. I'm a minister of the Federal Republic. We have senators from the south. What Seyi Makinde did was to call a few people and take them to Lagos and said that, that they have zoned the offices that came to the south. How would you do that? How will you disqualify very prominent members of the party? Is this ambition I'm talking about? Is this ambition? And people say, look, it is not going to be possible. If things are not done correctly, this is where it's going to lead us. And that was why they now formed this elders committee to look into the matter and bring us suggestions on the way forward.
Were all parties agreed to that elders committee?
Of course. When they came to me, I told them because of the respect I have for them. Ordinarily, I wouldn't want to participate because I have respect for them. Look at the old man who's the chairman of the committee, who's not like 80-something years. Look at the former governor of Osun. Look at Senator Zarab Ekure. And when I told them all this, look, the only way out, if not for selfish interest, let us agree, come together, form a committee so that we'll not take it from there. But if you are going to have this kind of convention where 16 states will be denied the opportunity to participate, and where some people say, look, you went and took form without allowing people collecting funds to participate, that is leading to crisis. And that's why I say, look, the way you run your business is not the way you run a party. Party is a different thing. It's not about you have money, you're a billionaire. No. It's a different ball game. Yeah, but you have to be careful.
But there are other elders in the party. Yes. Someone like Senator, I beg your pardon. Yeah, he was a senator, George, of Lagos State. I'm trying to remember his name. Bode George of Lagos. Yes. Who announced? Who was at that convention and who announced your expulsion from the party?
So that's why again, people like Bode George had nothing to contribute to this party. Since 1999, Bode George was the deputy national chairman of PDP. Has PDP ever won in Lagos? Since 1999, you claim as a leader.
They've won seats at the House of Reps.
What is winning? We are talking about Lagos State. That you win one seat for how many years? Since 1999 till now. The only thing is, PDP is strong. You used the PDP strong based in River State. We will produce anything you want to produce based on another state. But in your own state, you're not able to win anything since 1999. So how can you allow such a person to begin to dictate to the party? You see, party means that what can you contribute? As I sit here, as a PDP member, and anybody who knows my position knows my position, who said, if you don't do this right, we will not support this. And will support the president. However, in the National Assembly, governorship, and state assembly, PDP won. That means we have something to contribute. You, every day you come out on national television to talk, because you have no job again. So when you say people like Bodejo, he's an old man, yes, but was more relevant.
And he supported your agreement that, you know, there must be, how do I put it now, that, you know, the presidency must go to the South.
I have always canvassed that.
Yes, at that point, was he relevant to you or not?
No, it has nothing to do with supporting that the president must go to the South. It has, relevant is what you contribute from your state to give to the party. It's not that you said the presidency must go to the South. Okay, having said so, what will happen in your state? If the presidency goes to the South, then we'll fail in your state, or won't have anything of what is relevant, simply because you said presidency should go to the South. If you mean that presidency should go to it will mean that you have to work in your state for us to actualize it.
To deliver. Okay.
To deliver, if you cannot deliver, I mean, it doesn't make sense.
Okay, Your Excellency, there is now a 13-member caretaker committee led by Abdurrahman to manage the affairs of the party for the next 60 days.
Yes.
But under the constitution of your party,
yes,
sections 29 and 31 of the constitution of your party vests that power in the NEC. Under which authority was this particular caretaker committee set up?
That was NEC. Mind you, at the so-called Amala convention that was held in Ibadan. Of course, you know, people want to go and eat Amala. So that's why I call it Amala convention. That had, remember, the chairman of the party then had already abdicated, right? Those of them who believed in that convention had already abdicated. Now the national secretary, the legal advisor, the deputy national legal advisor, the organizing secretary, and all of them are still members who said our tenure will expire December 9th. I'm a member of NEC. So NEC met and said, look, we cannot allow a vacuum. There cannot be a vacuum. Because if I allow a vacuum and their tenure expires, who will not allow the affairs of the party?
Was there a quorum?
Of course. No, but nobody has anybody come to challenge that there was no quorum. So, as it is today, in fact, we are even going to sue INEC. We are going to sue INEC. INEC has no choice but to recognize the caretaker committee. They have no choice. Because their tenure having expired. You don't expect that we don't caretaker to run the affairs of the party. I remember that we have said we must obey court judgment. We must obey. Having obeyed the court judgment, who said there should be no convention, and the tenure was going to expire on the 9th, of course, it's natural that NEC had to sit and say, look, let us now appoint caretaker committee that will now run the affairs of the party till when the convention is now held. And the committee was set up, and they were told that it should take all steps to see that those states that have not had their congresses will go ahead and hold their congresses. Thereafter, there will be a national convention. So, as it is today, the appropriate authority that can talk about PDP is the caretaker committee. These are the people who came out from the Amala convention. Of course, they've seen it. They are not recognized. And INEC has said it. But the mistake INEC is making is that to say, oh, there's no committee. We wrote to INEC that NEC is going to take place. We wrote to INEC. And interim decisions will be taken. And the decision was taken. and caretaker committee was set up. And you cannot allow that. No, it's not done anywhere.
Okay, first, Honorable Minister, one of the most significant developments in that 2023 election cycle was the formation of the G5 governors in your party.
Yeah.
And Governor Makinde was a prominent member of that team. Now there's a political break in that your group. One of the things he said during his media chat, which trended, was that when he was when you were still in law school, he had already made $1 million. That also suggests that perhaps your political disagreement is now turning into something personal. So can you shed a bit of light on your political or personal relationship with
Well, it's most unfortunate. I didn't come to talk about money.